by the subterfuge, killed his brother. So it's not very much fun. So that's what they all base their genetic on.
I'll put one bit one.
Oh, we can push it on.
That's okay.
Oh, that's yours. No.
I know it's showing that, but it's only, no, it hasn't. It's probably the operator at the end. They clicked it, but it hasn't got.
Want a ginger beer or something?
No, we're fine. It's something you can't drink and all out.
Yeah.
Not real beer, just ginger.
It's still attached to the question to it.
Front, yeah.
And all it is what is the number? That's the question.
Yeah, look,
What is the number?
yeah,
Is Chanel's going to be on the phone for a little
well,
while?
we don't need.
I'll get her off.
No, I'm just thinking of the noise like he's reading.
Oh,
yawning.
we're not going to have any. Oh, we're going to just audio.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Brian, don't worry about interrupting you.
All right. Okay.
It's all right, Brian.
I'll do that, because he hasn't got the money. The operator has not released it. All right. Thank you. Bye.
No, none.
Just get down here, Brian, with the Bible, mate.
Want a couple of chairs?
Just
You'd be just yourself.
Can I just do this after?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
No,
gonna
no,
have
take
this
your
now.
time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine, sorry. We're not doing any audio bits now, so you can talk it here if you like. You just turn that light off there. Tim, thanks, mate. Some battery. Probably no. Probably do you know the first bit?
No.
No, I don't play. I'll just let it. Just let it end and open.
Yeah. And very.
Okay, Brian, for life, you want to just start reading the Bible?
Just looking at it?
Yeah, it's looking at it, thanks.
The most dangerous book on earth.
Have you read the all Bible and Qurans and all
I've
that?
studied all sorts of ancient languages and Dead Sea Scrolls, and but what there is in the Bible, I guess, is the code in numbers, and it doesn't really matter what it says. The numbers identify the shred of Turin, for example, and that's all we're going to work with. Who would have thought that a Pope would come up and say, hey, it's him on the shred of Turin, and I can now prove it by the same methods of numbers that are encoded into the languages themselves, whether it be Hebrew or Greek or English or Spanish, all similar.
If I just get you just do a little bit more reading up, you pick the book up again, yeah.
Yes, I can.
It's rewind if you can see. Oh, I see.
But this is the last job. Now, this is what I thought. As Jesus is saying, and it is because you're not more sin than your God. Because at the time, I remember one of them were preventing children from hearing his words, and he said, when you're not children, the ashes of Sodom are being put up with it, and he will not be coming to you with such as these belongs to you. See, it's all about being the innocent, pure, childlike nature that inherits. And unfortunately, today, have to be perverse.
Living it.
And this is born unless you become like a small child. Now, that's what enemy is.
You've got to get a good shot sooner or later on.
And this, you know, we get mail from around the world addressing this title. This is actually from Rome, who is homeless, has been there for months, and he's been living the life of a homeless man and learning what it's like to be rejected by everyone on the streets as he goes and lives. But remember, homeless. Now, when you said it, I just thought the other thing. It's not fan mail.
Not fan mail, yeah.
No, not because of all the text. Still that rejection. I've got others on here too.
Yeah, people send.
Yeah, well, they did that out of response to me. I said, the Australian government knows everything that's going on. Quentin Rice is the best friend of my sister. And in 2009, I did a 42-page document, including all kinds of things that she got because she acknowledged it. They all know what she is. Yet they have
Is that picking up sound?
Oh, just
I told her to stop talking, but this is why I'm against vaccination.
That's fine, yeah. Just keep through this. By the time we get the cut, so
Close those doors a bit soon.
oh, it's fine. We just get it later.
Really? Good. what it's all about.
Oh, it's from the United States down there from Florida. I know they're old, we've had it 47. Yes,
Well, I think it's going to be good is to get you both out there and just going through because you have your skin there and we're going to count.
oh, this is true, I wanted to see, I forgot to start on. Now this is, there's only one document on this, and this is one of the business receivers on with the both originals. She has it and we have it. All notarized, so it's hard work on there. So she received that on the 4th of June. Oh, this is the registered post modular to the Birthdays and Marriages as well. The name is being changed. That's happening now. It should be back in the clock. Yeah, this.
You want to cut this and have any hand over maybe?
Now that was sent to Lord Rothschild,
And do you do stuff like in screens and online stuff?
Yeah, we're pretty up on all the modern technology.
Yeah. I might get a few shots even on the couch there, like operate what you normally would do.
Some of these programs I've done on my computers are very old, but as time goes on and they become on the internet connected,
Yeah.
corrupted. So I have the originals before the corruption.
Right.
Like the Bible, for example.
Yeah.
So it's all very interesting.
Yeah. Which seat would you normally sit in? That one there?
No
Yeah.
one there.
Cool.
Oh, yes, thank you so much.
Darling,
Yes, darling.
Oh, that's right. She's okay. This is
picking
again
up noise, man.
just overlaid something. So.
I can have, there's one other sequence we can do right after we've done this one is they've got correspondence from around the world to Brian, so we can and then we can have Janelle and then both reading them, going through those letters.
Yep.
You can even do it on the pool table here actually afterwards.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. We do play. This is,
Yeah.
it's every day who's going to be the champion of
Yeah, this is only from New Guinea, that's why we laid it out. And we heard you coming, so I thought, leave it there, that'd be interesting. Do you want me to talk out through this or not?
Oh no, just do whatever you normally do
Yeah.
on the computer. Would you like be talking on the microphone or that sort of stuff?
If you're basically it's to get what you normally do.
Yeah.
So if what you normally do is to sit there and just type away, then just sit there and type away. If you normally speak to people, by all means speak to people. So.
Yeah, so as if you're talking to someone on the line or whatever you normally do.
Yeah, Dale. I'm very excited. She doesn't usually go on like this.
Yeah, well, that's all right. It's understandable.
Oh, pretty laid back. Mark,
Yeah.
come sit down beside me and we'll do a bit of research in here. And just, if we were talking to people on the online...
Do you want those letters down here now?
No, we'll do that after.
We'll do that after, yeah.
All right. Now my phone is going to ring again.
That's
That's
okay.
all right.
This is New Guinea. I'm going to have to take
That's
it.
fine. Yeah.
Pardon?
Open the laptop and leave it. We can always call back.
No, I can't. When he calls, I'm going to be talking to somebody he's handing the phone to. It's essential. I'm sorry.
It's right. It's fine. You can
Okay. All right.
So just doing whatever you do, looking through the web, whatever, on what you guys normally do, your website or something.
So do you want me to tell you what we're doing?
No.
Just be
This is
done.
as if we're just observing you in everyday life.
Yeah.
So do whatever you normally do. If you normally speak to people, speak to people. If you normally speak to each other, but we're not here. So just do your work as you would normally do.
We'd be playing pool.
There we go.
Seriously, we'd be playing pool.
Come on,
Okay.
get hold of yourself. All right, now this is what I was doing today. It's the distance out to the moon at this moment.
And what is it? What's the
Well, the number is that one there. You see that?
36867? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah. So we can watch that. This is leading up to the 28th of September, and then the moon is going to be a blood red. Right, this is lines up with the resurrection and crucifixion. So the crucifixion, of course, was 33 AD, 3:16 in the afternoon.
April the 3rd.
April.
Right. Now,
The moon went red. So the significant point about this is this we'll be able to measure this, which I can set the date here, and measure just by changing the date to September, which is going to be the 28th. So that's exactly the same moment, but going forward now, so we can just confirm that 28th September.
yes,
All right.
it's at 2 in the afternoon, 1400.
Doesn't matter, which is
Yeah.
near enough because it just be. So you can see what the distance is there and what it's out to now. So what's the number there?
Looks like it's 363,570 kilometres.
So what we can do there is just run that back, just by taking it back at a day at a time. And you'll see the numbers change. And we'll go back and see if there's a significant distance at any moment in time. It only has to be approximate, and then we can zoom in to get the exact hour, right? And then round to the exact minute. Right? So we just click on that. If you go up here on that little deal there, go to that one, and see what the distance is.
392,164 kilometres.
So, what we've got is an oval-shaped orbit which is going to play its part in 29 days, 0.53052 days. We'll show you that we can go exactly one lunar month forward to look at that, and it'll show you a distance. So we can just go down here to this area here, and we can go up to the 28th. You'll notice a change in position. So we can go out, look at the moon, like so. It'll show you where the moon should be, but I'll guarantee you it is not going to be in that position because the moon is now wobbling back and forwards like so. So it's not going to happen. So what we can do there is come out. And then we can measure from there out to Jupiter, for example, and then find how far it is to the Earth. And it's very significant because this is one of the key moments that we're going to be looking at, when this moon will turn red. Now this program doesn't show it turning red, but more advanced programs will do that, but we don't need to be that advanced for what we're doing. So there you have the distance out, we can read that, to from the Earth to Jupiter, which is very significant.
6.28 astronomical units.
Okay, so now we look at 628, because it's going to be approximately that, it's going to stay there, right? So we can go into 628 astronomical units, and what is it?
To wash fully, have remitted, wash away.
So you keep a mental note of that. We go into the Hebrew, look at that.
Gathered up together. Promiscuous assemblage of people. My God, I think
So
that mixed
the
multitude.
significance of this particular thing that we're doing is that on that date, I will be 71.717629, and 717 is, and I'll do it for you here. You read it out. Armageddon. So what you got is the stars, which is God's territory, not the earth, because it's taken over by evil. But the stars are, so if you're talking God here, So whatever it says in distances and positions and altitudes and declinations and then distance to from Jupiter out to Saturn back into the Sun will tell you what's going to happen on that day. So we've got the Moon turning red, the last of 5 major events. It's not going to happen again for another 400 years, and it doesn't matter.
That was the
It's
four blood moons.
4 blood moons and 1 solar eclipse,
which was March the 20th.
which is talking about Armageddon. Now, that's what the stars say. You don't have to be super intelligent to see that this is what it says. So are you going to argue with it? Well, that's how old I am, 71.71629. So if I'm full of crap, therefore, my numbers that I've been doing for the last 60, 70 years don't mean nothing. Or it means a lot.
Mm.
Well, as you see, my consistent record has always been correct. So therefore, if I'm correct on everything back in the past you've been witness to when you've been with me, plus all the videos before that and all the numbers I showed you before that, it's saying Armageddon is 28th of September 2015.
Now, of course, the world expects Armageddon to be this physical war happening, gathered on the plains of Megiddo.
It's getting rid of evil. It's not a physical war. It's a spiritual war.
Mm.
So what it means is that there's suddenly evil is now going to be part of the equation.
Mm.
Right? Why? What will happen? Well, we have the various planets coming in, which a lot of people know as Nibiru. And Nibiru is itself a 7-star system of a dwarf star. And it's in the Kachina prophecies, it's in the Hopi prophecies.
Hopi prophecies.
And it's all talking about what is actually going to occur in the future. Speaking 2,000 years ago against the native Indians of North America, the Hopi in particular. So it's very, very important to consider that when we're looking at how we read something, you put my age in because the age is entirely lined up with 33 AD. Conception 33 AD, resurrection. Date 1943. It's indisputable. The fact is, no one might like the idea of me being a pretty arrogant sort of fellow, of saying, hey, you've got to start repenting because you're putting up with this nonsense of your Bible, which is a load of crap, right? And we can prove that by simply doing this. You put the word Lord in, and it comes up 6,666 times. Everyone's saying, what is 666? Well, it's your bloody Bible. That's what the 666 is. That's how many Lords there are.
And that's the Babylonian numbering system.
It's a Babylonian numbering system that ends at the number 6 and then it starts again. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 6 5s, or 3 5s, or 4 5s. That's how the Babylonian numbering system. And that is why in the book of Revelation it tells you that the secret occult is Babylon. What is the Pharisees? Babylonian. Where's the Sanhedrin? Babylon. Where did Caiaphas write his letter to? Babylon. So that's what it's all about. So how are we doing there? Is that enough?
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
We'll do it at the kitchen bench. Sure. Just do these bits and pieces next.
Okay.
So,
All right.
I'll
What
give it to
day
you.
do you have?
Rob will direct you. We'll probably do it at the kitchen bench.
All right.
I'll just clear a few things here.
Pumpkins and fruit and whatever it is.
This with two.
Yes.
Yeah.
The car keys. What will you?
And reverses and everything else. So I've got another
All right, anybody out there who is listening? I've just let the microphone go. The first part, the microphone wasn't actually on, but anyway, it's all happening. The crew is here. Well, it was when they were outside mostly, so nothing was missed. But yes, we are live on. I'm just letting it run. There are people in the chat room, and I have to take the call because I feel so, and I phoned Western Union, but it's March, but that's what I want to do anything. I want to touch.
It's already picked up.
That's what the bank is. So I have to speak to the bank teller that's in line again. He's going to call me.
You wouldn't think that someone so thick would go to pick up money without an ID.
Well, I said you have to have ID. You can hardly hear anything in that call. It's always a struggle. Stupid.
So we'll just go over here.
I've got to get the lips, make sure they're all straight.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I call them my weapons of mass destruction.
So you're both off PNG tomorrow?
Oh, aren't we?
I'll just do.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Brian, do you keep supplies of your water here, or is that elsewhere? The water?
No, the water comes from outside here.
That's do you have any samples or anything?
Well, we have tested it, that hasn't got fluoride in it, which is the main thing, but we go through a...
No, I'm talking about the water that you supply in New Guinea.
New Guinea?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
the big jug we made there, there's another small one in it. I'll pour it into a glass and show you.
Yeah. Oh, we'll do that in a second. We'll do these bits first, just keep it all in order for that.
Yes.
Obviously.
Hey, you keep this in your mind, it's got me there.
Yeah, I know, that's right. It's all just, but we will get you,
experience, right?
Yeah, we'll get some, we'll talk about it in the interview and just get some over shots of you doing this sort of stuff here. So, when you know it comes back down, we'll be talking about the photos and stuff that people have sent you.
Where's the wrist pulse?
The black, it's probably behind the clock, or it's, no, it's in the suitcase.
Oh, no.
Never. Another time, that's all part of history. So is this still not the interview?
No. So, from the start, I've got this point of view, you talking all that sort of stuff. So the interview is just going to be myself and Brian talking about that sort of stuff.
Good.
So, yeah.
Okay.
This
Have
here.
you got anything written out, or are you just going to ad-lib it as you go along?
I've got some general concepts that, it's mainly ad-lib, Well, I treat them as a discussion, So, but yeah, look, and for you guys to, again, just ignore the camera, treat this like a discussion and just go through here and talk about who sent you what and why they've sent you these things from overseas.
Alright.
And from Australia too.
Okay.
So they went.
Okay. This is the Christ child.
Just again, pretend the camera.
Ignore us.
Ignore the camera.
Ignore the camera, I'm not talking to anybody.
Okay, who's this one from? This is, hello, there's baby blues. Beautiful. Alright, this is from Andrea Leineck. Much love to you both. It's to the Lord Jesus Christ, Yahweh and Asher, Brian and Gino, and Lightning Marshall, 103 North Shore Avenue, 465 Toogoom, Queensland, Australia. Greetings from Germany. And look at the swans, the two swans together with YHWH Yahweh. Now, Andrea, your granny.
Yeah.
And, oh, this one, Gabe sent this one. Oh my goodness. This is Gabe, yeah, he's sent a photograph of Benedict kissing the forehead of a small child. And it's addressed to Yahweh, Lord Jesus Christ, Brian and Galati Marshall, wishing you all the best with Vatican III, V3, and the wood chipper business. That's a joke. Peace and love, Gabe, all the way from Rome, our man on the streets there. Who's this one? This is from John Garner. He's in Hexthorpe, Doncaster, England. It says, Dear Brian and Larsa, this is on Wednesday, 24th of June. I'm not really sure how to address you both, but I guess the best way is to treat you both as respected friends. One thing is for certain, and that is that the world is run by a bunch of crooks that have conned almost everyone on planet Earth since their natural birth. I say almost everyone because their veil of secrecy has been lifted from before the eyes of a growing throng of believers. Sadly, many people are expecting Jesus to appear on a big white horse out of the sky and have failed to understand the meaning of metaphor. This is despite the fact that Jesus always taught by using parables. The allegorical nature of all the biblical stories means that discernment is called for. In the early 70s, I was going through a bad time with my marriage, and so I sought God, Jesus, in the church, but didn't find any solace there. However, it was when I was sitting in the sergeant's mess and contemplating on the name Jesus when I experienced the glow. A warm, fuzzy feeling flowed through me. At the time, I didn't fully understand that God speaks to me in this way when I'm in attunement with the vibration of the will of God. I spoke to an old friend today who remembers 300 of his past lives. Hello. P.S.
Lunacy.
Anyway, that's all. And anyway, we won't go
Yeah, got
there.
it.
The kingdom of God is certainly within the mind of every human being, in my humble opinion. To enter the kingdom, I guess a lot of meditation is required. Well, it's wrong there. But it could be that the guy, anyway.
Well, yeah, it's nice fellow, he's 74 years old.
Now this one is from Daniel Smith. He's in Florida. The Lord Jesus Christ, Brian Lanigan, Lightning Marshall. D.B. Smith, Bisbee, Arizona. Yeah, Arizona, not Florida. That's right, Simon from Florida. Greetings, Yarra Ash from Daniel Smith, your YouTube friend. Birth date is the 5th May the 31st, 1947 at 12:13 a.m. Hampton, and that's Bermuda, is it? Or Bermuda. It's an honour. Yeah, it's an honour to correspond with you. And then John Lynch, John the Fishman, Yahweh, Lord Jesus Christ, Brian and Galatian Marshall. And, this is, John says, his name is John the Fishman. My testimony to the world, to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. I, John Michael Lynch, a.k.a. John the Fishman, being of sound mind and body, find Brian and Galatian Marshall to be exactly who he proclaims to be, the returned Jesus, Lord of Lords and King of Kings, God in the flesh. I stand by his side unshaken. Let now the one stand against him. John.
It all started with John.
The fire thing, it was John the Fishman that, from some obscure...
Coming out to join a cult in Australia.
Yeah. Hello.
Listen.
Alright, this is from the England office of the Lord Jesus Christ, Yahweh, Brian and Galatian Marshall, King of Israel and Judah, the Word of God, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, Revelation 3:12 and Revelation 19:12, 13 and 16.
Oh,
this is from Harry D. Yarra Ash. Lovely to be communicating with you by various methods. Further to my handwritten scroll in the last letter, I have now got my laser printer connected up at home and doing some damage in the local area. I decided it would be difficult for people to reject an official produce this letterhead. So it goes on. Please find enclosed the 2 signed documents, and I look forward to Yar's email confirmation. Not sure if I still need to do the online signing as well. Much love to you, Hayley Rolling, disciple of the Return to Christ. And what she is talking about is a handwritten document, but what she is talking about is the signing, of course, of In Christum Credent, which is the apostolic letter written by Pope Benedict. The disciples have been signing it as their testimony that this is indeed the truth. And signing on to Vatican III, which will become the ruling with a rod of iron for all the world in the future, and it's bringing health and prosperity to all nations, all peoples, regardless of what it is they believe. But the instrument of it will be the infrastructure of what's already been established through the Catholic Church, once it's been cleaned up. Here we go, Adam Yates, this is. He says, the best of the Lord Jesus Christ, Brian Liverpool, Lightning Marshall. Another very intelligent young man, dear Bruce and Sheila. The Bruce Highway is going to be renamed, isn't it? Brian Highway. He's in Kent, the UK. Just a very quick note to say that you have given me a growing feeling over the last few months that I could not put my finger on until this week, and that is a feeling of being a child, which is something I never had known before. My childhood was full of adult issues and emotion. I love feeling speechless. I love feeling that I am the pupil and not the teacher, as was always predominant in the past. My chains are broken and molten in the pot. Everlasting love for you and the new kingdom, yours, Adam. Adam himself has signed on to Vatican III and the In Christum Credent. That's what it is all about at the back of there.
Alright, like give us a flavour of it anyway.
Right?
Maybe see talking done, and some shots of Brian with the water.
This is, you ready to go?
Yep, yeah.
This is basically very simple.
2 seconds, sorry, microphone issue. Ready to go.
Do you want the pulse?
Yeah, no worries. This can be made from a car battery. All you need is 2 pieces of silver. You plonk them in the water. You put a current across it, and that will rip molecules of silver. And depending on how far apart the rods are, how big they are, and what the voltage is, the size of the molecule that's suspended as a positive charge. So when you drink it, it goes into your body, which is a negative charge, and it comes into your cells, which might have a virus or a pathogen, germ, or whatever, your cancer or whatever. And it will go into the DNA, and the DNA itself is what a virus will attack and cause it to remanufacture itself, taking over your DNA. So what this does, it goes in and it kills the virus that's causing it by simply cutting off the oxygen supply that it breathes. And this was been around forever. It looks like water. If you were to put a laser through that, you get a laser line that will show up through that like a red strip or whatever the colour laser is. So that is easily done anywhere in the world. We've introduced that to New Guinea. We've stopped the epidemic that they predicted in when it was up there in 2008 and 9. And of course, when we've been up there recently, how's everybody? Oh, great. So it's almost eradicated just by this little simple protocol here. All of the diseases that have been affecting people in New Guinea, which no one in the Western world cares about. This is how common. It's so diabolical and evil to me that I can't comprehend that normal people who know what's going on say nothing. So that's what colloidal silver is. It's done with a car battery, can be done with a plug-in in the wall, can be done with a 9-volt battery.
And you got a big tank here as well.
We made a big tank of it for there, if people come in and want to have a bit of a drink or whatever, not feeling they'll knock over a cold in a matter of minutes.
It's that actually, this is a fresh batch in a darkened sunlight.
You can do it in any water. But what we do is we use reverse osmosis, which is also gone through an ultraviolet light to make it. Right? And that takes out all the impurities in it, and then we put the 2 electrodes in it. It might take 30 minutes to do, depending on the size and the voltage. And when we do a big vat, it could be that wide. It's got to be glass or plastic, can't do it in iron or anything like that. And we put the 2 electrodes in, and it'll start ripping off the positive side as it looks like a grey smoke that's coming out. So it's quite an interesting thing to watch. And then you drink it, and of course now you're taking in a positive charge of silver, which is what does the damage to any pathogen, germ or virus. 657 known germs and viruses were killed. That's been around since Christ. No one's taken it up. What do they use in hospitals? They don't.
And it's like was in the Jordan River. If you send anybody to
Well,
go, if you get swim in the
In
Jordan
New Guinea, where they had given up on treating AIDS patients, so we was invited into the hospital to treat people.
Yeah.
And we was just curing them, and then we told them how to do it.
Yeah.
Since then, I've developed another common chemical. It's called calcium hypochlorite, and it's available in any pill store in the world. And you take 1 capsule of it, down she goes, and that'll kill everything you got. The idea was invented, and it's called MMS1, by Jim Humble. And Jim Humble had proven that it killed malaria in Uganda. And it was monitored by the Red Cross. But it turns out the Red Cross is owned by the Rothschilds. And they're behind wanting to kill off the indigenous people of the earth. That's what all it's all about, is to kill off and reduce the world population, because they are wanting the resources. New Guinea in particular. The sovereign people, they own all the gold in the ground.
Yeah.
Right? Kill them, the gold can be taken out. It's as simple as that. So,
Alright, that's good. Well, why don't we start the interview now? We'll probably get a couple more shots of this, and then interview when we're good to go.
yeah, we're ready.
We've almost covered everything before the interview, but anyway. Well, let's.
What do you want to do?
I think the guys will set up in the room here. Might just double check if we might not be in the room. We'll do it out here, we'll get in the room. Then something's up with this.
Oh,
Probably. Yeah. Or we can just stick it in the stairwell or something in the background.
Yeah. It's just that room's pretty crowded.
Yeah. Yeah, you can take them shit like this, like.
So you are on TV regularly, eh? Doing
Yeah.
presentations.
Yeah, probably like, on average, probably twice a week. 2 stories.
Good for you, isn't it? Get well known.
Yeah, among the audience. I mean, we get about 1 million people on ACA most nights.
That's quite a lot.
Let's remove that and go this way.
You want to move the pool channel?
Yeah,
We
we
have,
can.
yeah, we said that. I would move the pool channel.
To where?
Or just move it aside.
You can do that. Got a couple of big boys and pick it up easy.
Yeah, like two wells. Or keep up the piano, move this out and then.
You want to come over this way?
Yeah, got alright for how heavy is this thing?
It's quite heavy, but I think a man like you will pick it up in the worries.
There we go.
Just straight out this way.
Squashing against the wall.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. It goes back, I see.
I didn't bother, I was going to wash the floor until I saw Brian's mark everywhere and I thought, forget it. It's not the footprints in the sand, it's the footprints on the tiles.
Well, when you spend big money like $20 on shoes, let's pay.
There's a story behind the piano, there's a story behind everything.
There's a story of it. Did you play it all too?
No, I wish I could.
Is that Christmas gift?
Oh, and you need a hand.
Do the lights actually work?
They do.
That's all Jack and stuff.
Call on, probably. What are you going to do?
It's in here.
I know, where are you going to be? Where the trouble is?
Here.
Suction capsule.
On the front. It is.
Use the chair.
You just want to take a seat there and you can sort of work your way.
You also need this light. Yep.
What do you think, Andy?
That was. You've got what more figure
What?
What more figure?
You're thinking about it. What's it done for?
The camera bag over.
Hmm?
Yeah, the camera bag with the phone.
Just underneath that shelf.
Oh.
Right, it's just a little bit more up to you, right? Yeah. That's it. Nice and warm in PNG.
Yes, it's actually not that bad. It's surprising. It's normally hotter. But very nice. How's that camera doing now?
Turn it around now.
Is it? You done that while you're on it?
We're still live on the deck.
Are we?
Yeah,
Okay.
just, I said to
Where's the
Mark,
speaker?
that's
Oh, there it
live.
is. Yeah. You're going to get yourself a present sooner or later. It's all right, we'll forgive you if it's not.
Oh, right. Oh, that's it.
I watched a movie being made in Silverwater in Sydney years ago. And this big American fellow, all he had to do was walk out and say hello to his wife. It took them 3 hours to make the shot. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it.
You get the keys then?
Yeah. I was going to say, lunatic interviewed in Toogoom. Can't believe it.
The insane one.
You shouldn't have that trophy.
What's that
You
thing?
shouldn't have that trophy.
The mocha. Mocha tea.
Is it? Bathroom I can use
Yes.
quickly.
You've got three.
This way. Yeah.
Long drive starting to quit.
Are you ready for a coffee?
Oh no, I'm fine, thanks. Thank you.
That's the bathroom.
Ah, no worries, yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. So what time's your flight?
Tomorrow morning?
9:55.
We're from Brisbane.
Brisbane, yeah.
Straight to
So,
Port Moresby.
yeah, and then up into
So that's start in the morning.
yeah, we're leaving the other house in the morning, I'll drop him off and drive myself.
Oh, you're not going?
Not this time, not
Okay.
doing every time, but I'll either join him or when he gets back. That's it.
And you got the money, you got money transfer problems or something, is it?
Oh, it's listening to you.
Yeah.
So difficult to hear the phones, the telecommunications system up there is efficient. And it's
Yeah.
expensive. And, you know, the guy who's going to join him in there. So you've got, I text through Skype, I text through mobile phones, still didn't get anything, but it's us, seriously.
Yeah.
It's us. So it gets to the bank for the Western Union.
Jim, when I go out or into the country,
Yeah.
everyone else goes in passport scan. Me, I
Even
shift
when we're
around,
in
take me on.
We were,
Next computer, Asia, hello, yeah, let him through.
yeah, we were in
Little
India
Asia
in
on
March.
the day.
And applied for online visas. We did it there before we arrived, so we went through a special setup. So I go through one, he gets to another, and it's, you know, the scanner, this and the eyes and all the rest of it, not him. We just look at him through. And Rome, everywhere we go, United Kingdom, they scanned everybody else for us when we went in through Scotland and Edinburgh. The guy just said, how long are you going to be here? So we gave him a story, and we were there for 2 weeks. And through nothing.
Yeah.
No stamp, no nothing.
And we had agents all around the place, just giving an example. We got 2 new SIM cards to go in our mobile phones in Scotland, and it's easy, you don't need ID like you do everywhere else that they're given to you. We had £10 each credit to start with from them, and I used one for each phone, and then there's no, you use all of your credit up, there's no more credit. So that's why we couldn't phone using our phones. We get to where we were staying. Fortunately, I had 2 places booked. It was just one of those things the angles work out. We drove to the first place, which was Glastonbury, and we got there late in the afternoon. And when we got there, 7 o'clock in the evening, the parking lot, I go into my email, and the place I booked for there, sorry, it's been a mistake, there's no room at the inn.
I see.
So I'd already had the second place across the other side at Folkestone, the Dover area. So we drove hours to go across there, and then we drove back to Glastonbury Torrens, because that's all the start was where he was as he got to work. So we did all that, and via the Stonehenge, and of course while we're staying in Folkestone, you always get young Australians, Asia, anywhere else, it's MI6 or whatever.
We got into an elevator.
How aboard Endo, sorry?
Yeah, it's probably still in that room. Yes.
I didn't know, so.
Yeah, we got in an elevator, and
We were waiting
2 people at the 7th floor, because they start a conversation, because it just leads on and on and on and on. They're making all sort of probing inquiries and so forth. At the end of the conversation, half hour later, he said to me, how do you know we're not MI5? So I said to him, I'll be disappointed if you are.
Yeah.
It's okay. We had that sort of thing all the
We
time.
get weird people
But
moving in there.
getting onto your program would be a miracle.
Oh, it'll happen, I reckon. Well, I didn't drive all the way up here to Harvey Bay and all.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
But this is like the guy in Port Moresby. We were up there, second time, NBC, what's it, National Broadcasting up there.
Yeah.
2 hours we were interviewed for radio, and he said the same thing. No worries, this is okay.
Jump up
You know,
forward, so
Yeah.
you're blind to seeing the lane we're walking. There's all a virus once it's killed.
Yeah.
They've got their strength back. No.
Does that need to be where this was or further this way from?
Post-career owned by Rupert Murdoch.
Where it is?
He told the girl, Dorothy Kenneth. We walk in Sunday afternoon. We said, we've got the cure for AIDS. We set up. She goes, oh, I've got AIDS. We said, well, you won't have within 20 minutes. You can set her up in the pulse as she started drinking water. Her son was there. He was sick. Drinking the water, all that kind of thing. After 20 minutes, she stopped coughing and she, I can breathe. I stopped coughing and she came to life. Well, after a couple of hours there, she said, if I press this button, it's going to go to 148 papers, front page news. She said, no, it won't go. We arranged to go back at 9 o'clock to see the presses run. We go there, no sign of Dorothy. She phoned us the next day, Sunday. We waited there, the Asia agent from Perth. Clean fingers, fat gutted guidance, a little bit like you with the crew cut. Why are you
Handsome
here?
man, just the same.
Yeah.
Why are you here? He says, well, we're seeing the phone packet. Oh, no, well, it's nothing about the AIDS cure. It's some obscure thing. He's staying in South Australian High Commission. He's happy to be sent up there to further his career. Hello, he's come from Perth to a
3-year contract.
kindergarten.
75-year-old pretty free.
Anyway, the bullshit. So we go, oh yeah. Next day, Dorothy phones us. She says, my boss, who just happened to be there from Melbourne, arrived when we did in October 2008. This is January 2009. She said, my boss stopped it. He told me that he knows Brian Marshall from Melbourne and wouldn't let it go to press. He said he wanted to hear from the government and the AIDS Council. So she said, so I phoned the government and I phoned the AIDS Council, and they both said to me, we know exactly what he is doing. We are watching everything that he is doing. We have no comment. So she goes back, and we took in our carload full of, lane walking, blind seeing Jamie, who had a dream 2 months before we arrived, saying the Lord is going to heal me. I'm not taking the drugs. He says, Brian's the man I saw in my dream. It's all on the internet. They go. She interviews, gets their name, gets their story, photographs, the whole rest of it. So now. Well, they've got no comment. So I'll have it running for you Wednesday. You're going to leave Wednesday said 4th of February. And, of course, it didn't go into sympathetic into a comment. And he said, Rupert Murdoch is a Jew. The Jews control all media. They do not want, their protocol is to forbid Christ. They all know this, that. You see, it's their end that we're talking about, their snake control that they have over it.
It's
Anyway,
pretty good after all this bugger.
Dorothy herself, she's smelling the rat. She didn't give up. She's known how good she feels. Plus, we supplied silver water to all the office staff in there. They're all feeling really good. And so she gets a hold of, and it's only coincidental, Stephen Marshall, Australian reporter up there, 3 years, coming to his tenure in PhD. And she said, something's wrong. This is being stopped. Look at all these people. And so he got 12 minutes to air late March, early March 2009, 16, something like that. Interviewing him from Baltimore, and Stephen up there, he'd already been to plus they crossed over to Dr. David
Tim put it in there.
There is a cure for HIV and stuff like that, bullshit. And then it showed the AIDS Council saying we're stealing people from their wallets.
Sure didn't just pick it up.
I spent 84 grand, didn't
His father's inheritance came through for us to go. We took up all of the equipment, we did what we did, we showed people it's not rocket science, this is how you kill all germs pathogens. It didn't matter what was wrong with them. Start cleaning the blood, and that's a prophecy in Joel, the Lord will cleanse their blood. It talks about the gathering of the darkened faces, that's what we did. And so they just continue to treat all their friends and family around them. Well, when the late line aired, and you know, Stephen Marshall did a good job in that he had to give it like this is what they're saying over here. And Brian is simply saying, well, I think if there's a conspiracy to keep the AIDS virus alive, well, we can so simply go in and cure it, and people are restored to life within minutes at no cost. We spent all that money, plus, while we were there, I mean, the poverty in Port Moresby is disgusting. Now, we were told on this trip, since independence, September 16th, 1975, which coincidentally, he was 31.68 years old. 3168, the key of the house of David, Lord Jesus Christ, Holy Geometry. That's what 3168 is. Since independence, we were told by an Italian couple who's been there for 16 years in the, no longer the buying and selling of gold, who stayed within their house 6 years, 6 nights ago. They told us that since independence, there has only been one politician in 40 years that has not stolen from the people of Papua New Guinea, and that within bank accounts throughout Southeast Asia, there is more than 8 trillion kina that they have stolen. The current Prime Minister, Peter O'Neill, he's up for 780 million suspected that hasn't been proven one way or the other, just allegations when he was in some capacity. And now he's Prime Minister and he's just leading the crew. They're still raping and looting from the people. I talked with a woman from, her name just happened to be Nellie. Nellie, at Gabaka Street, which is where we went the first time, and all the videos are from come back at the Gabaka Street, the lane and all the rest of it, getting there. Nellie told me that her village, she lives out in an area beyond 8 miles, around Yarrahu, where children are drinking, they are emulating the adults. Because the adults, if they have any keener to spend it on, they spend it on alcohol so they can forget the poverty that they're living in. The children as young as 8 years old are emulating adults, drinking and having sex at this young age. They are the landowners still from their villages. They're up in the mountains throughout the provinces, the 22 provinces. Now, the area that she comes from is where the LNG, which is a liquid natural gas, is being shipped to via ExxonMobil. She has counted 100 container loads of LNG going out, being shipped to where? But Israel, the devil itself. Yeah. And there is supposed to be a royalty that is paid to all of the village members who are down in the city. Not a single cent has gone their way. Nellie doesn't doubt that the government has been paid But they know, and which is why the Papua New Guinea government has been a revolving door for years, is that it all stops with the politicians. Once they get into power, they become the fat cats for their areas. And suddenly they get fatter and fatter as the people like Nellie get skinnier and skinnier as they are starving, and their resources are being given to the God of Israel, which is actually the devil itself.
What happened is the Jews went in there, a rabbi from
Brisbane,
and they introduced a new covenant. Well, the new covenant, you would think, New Testament. So they introduced a new covenant and signed them up to participate in this bogus Ponzi scheme, where one fellow had given 200 kilos of gold and not got 1 cent for it.
Yeah.
So when I go there, I said, what, you made a deal? And I read the covenant. I said, you're making a deal with the devil. Don't you realise who the Jews are? Because they had no idea.
they're like
So I
lambs
filled
to
them
the
all in,
slaughter.
and now there's a whole uprising of these men that are waiting for the cash. I said, you'll never get it.
Since 2000.
And sure, that's right. So I'm going up to meet them tomorrow.
Okay. That's why I get it, though.
Here it is, the covenant with Israel. Papua New Guinea, these are the original documents, the signing by Michael Samari and then some other dude for the government of the State of Israel, for the government of Papua New Guinea. It's a deal with the devil itself. They think that the God of Israel is the God of Jesus, which would be him, and it never has been. It's the devil itself. We are trading our mineral commodities and agriculture commodities under the new covenant, all in deposit marketing through a CEO. And his name is Gary Francis Moore, a rabbi out of Brisbane, who has told this group, this is an old man, 65 years old, retired, 36 years as a headmaster. He gave all his 450,000 kina to this investment group that has been BS'd by the rabbi out of Brisbane since the year 2000. 22 provinces have won 200 kilograms. The old man himself, he said, I only gave 6 kilograms of gold. But there's been more than 2 tons of gold given into the hands of this rabbi who has been advising this group. The old man, while we were there, as we were telling them, we didn't know any of this, we were just telling them about who the enemy of all mankind is. There we go, Madang Israeli government to sign a memorandum of understanding, Madang Israel to forge links, etc. Israel's recognition of concept PNG. Here it all is. Oh, there we go. There's the devil himself with the devil himself, Peter O'Neill with Netanyahu. They have pledged all the resources of Papua New Guinea to the God of Israel, which is Lucifer. Now, in return, Israel has pledged what? Well, they're going to give monies for the building up of Papua New Guinea's defence forces. Why? They're going to bring in doctors trained by Israel to what? 1492. The rabbi, who was the head of the Sanhedrin in Constantinople at the time, wrote to those in Spain who were being evicted for their ritual murder of Christian children. He wrote to them and said, train up your sons to become doctors and apothecaries to kill the Christians. This is where it all starts.
Yeah. Keep going. I'm listening. On this.
Did you know Tim's actually a Jew?
Oh, Tim, you're a Jew.
Am I?
That passed through my mind today. I got a Jew on the case. It can't be Scottish.
Yeah, that's right.
I got blue eyes.
Hey guys, now the other thing I was going to mention is because I know you've got the video camera set up here.
Yes.
Now you've got the audio running, as I believe you
Yes,
said
yeah,
before.
that's right.
So with the Channel 9 policies, what we do when we go out there, I mean, look, for accountability and everything else, I'm happy for you to record the audio,
Yes.
the video for the interview and everything. If we can, not video,
Okay.
only because it's
Copyright.
yeah. We can't do the story. The video gets out. Can go
Oh, okay.
everywhere else. So,
Yeah, it's off. It's gone. Alright, but the audio is still going.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I said if you want to record that, that's no worries. This obviously we're a TV station.
Yes, and with the advent of YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
We're very conservative when it comes to this kind of stuff.
That's all right.
Anyway, so that's this is the crime of what the politicians have done. And now this is my wall. I've got to go out and make this.
Sure. What is this? Sony 67 Zoom. This is a good one. When did you get this one?
Yeah, it's I put it on eBay
Yeah.
from England. Cheap. And it also has a projector in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually need to get myself a camera.
I've got a Panasonic as well, which is actually technically a better camera, but it's a bugger.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You can actually zoom to the opposite side of the light.
Can I use your mobile phone to send a text, please? It's really important.
Sure.
It's just that we get cut off all over the place. I've got to get this text through. It's got internet. I can send it international. It's just one text,
Yeah, sure, no worries.
and then it's happening. We are cut off all
Yeah.
the time. Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get stopped at the border.
You're not going to be
Yeah.
then.
Is it related to the money?
Oh, what
is
meeting?
that the bank? He's asking for our address.
So, yeah.
Yeah. 00675 675.
There must have done a lot of courses in the
Oh, that's
university
good.
to do all this.
Oh, yeah.
It's more so just laying on the
703
learning on balance, you know.
Yeah.
468
46.
46.
Now, what he wants to know is our address. So 103
Yeah.
North Shore Avenue, Toogoom, Queensland, Australia.
#3 North Shore Avenue, Toogoom, Queensland, Australia.
That's right. Okay, 55. Got 56.
Sorry.
Okay, all right, send.
Is that all you needed was your address?
Well, they needed something to identify that he is. So I was going to speak to the bank guy and say, just give it to him. That's Perry. Can you tell if it's sent on yours? Or?
No, you can't. It's just a text message.
Yeah.
Doesn't say.
I'll go outside.
You're recording on that?
You
You recording on that?
all sorts of
This
stuff.
one?
And then
Not yet.
you've got about 3 or 4 notebooks and always misplace them right upside down, get things round the wrong
Yeah,
way.
you do the same thing.
How many TV interviews have you done before?
One is one.
What? That one with that journalist.
Later on, yeah.
You go over to the States to do a lot of stuff, Claire was saying?
Sorry?
Claire was saying you go to the US to do a lot of stuff.
I lived in Canada for a long time, and all this really started to kick off in earnest in 1990 in Canada.
You're on.
And at that time, a series of very, very odd miracles happened with personal information to me, which is undeniable. And I thought, well, I've got no choice in this, I've got to do what I do. And next thing I've got the Canadians all over me. And the Canadians, they will spy on someone for the CIA. Legally they can do that. So they get the CIA to make the request and then the Canadian secret can go and spy on them. And then vice versa, if they want to spy on someone else, they get the Americans to do it. So it started there, and I thought, well, I am in a lot of trouble because these people too. They had tried several times before to kill me. And one was cyanide. And the cyanide burnt my mouth And the guy that was with me, I had a small trailer at that time, I'd been locked up and arrested, put in the Forensic Institute in Port Coquitlam. And what they do is they put a psychiatrist in as a patient, and then they sidle up to you and start talking to you. And this guy, an older man, he was a Jew, and I said to him, he started talking to you're a Jew. I said, yeah. So I said, where are you from? He said, Prince of Wales Island. As soon as he said that, he had been, or the whole thing was open, because a lot of my research started at Prince of Wales Island. So I said, oh yeah, Prince of Wales Island. He said, yeah. I said, what was your mother? He said, Inuit Eskimo. Another lie. You can't be a Jew unless your mother's a Jew. I said, well, while your mother was suckling you and dipping water from the lake, you know the name of the lake. And the Prince of Wales Island. He just stared at me. I said, I don't know. I said, I do, and I don't live there. I said, you also know how far it is from the equator. I don't know either.
Here you go. You tell us when you're ready.
We're all good.
Oh, you're all good too? Okay, alright. Well, should we start off?
Yeah.
Why don't you start off by you telling us exactly who you are?
Well, I'm the Comforter. This was Jesus, if you like. The confusion in churches and your Bible, which is very, very difficult to understand because it's totally a work of myth combined with some facts. But the Comforter is found in, the word Comforter is found in 7 verses, 3 of the Old Testament and 4 in the New Testament.
Essentially, God.
Essentially. Yeah. So it comes from what is true, and this is where you've got to be very careful. The Comforter, Jesus speaking, said, unless I go away, nailed to a cross, I won't be able to send the Comforter. Then, another time, his verses, another man asked him, Philip, and he said, who are you? And he said, well, look, if I don't go away, God won't send the Comforter. The Father won't send the Comforter. So what it's saying is Jesus and the Father is one. Jesus said that in another verse. So that's set aside. If you take the 3 verses in the Old Testament and the 4 in the New Testament and add them all up, just as numbers. First, for example, is 4:1, 9:1, 1:16, 4:14, 4:26, blah, 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 right down to the end one. And you add them all up, you get a number 6754. You think, well, what's that? Well, that's the area of the Shroud of Turin. So it's the area is actually 6754.5. The 0.5 in Greek is Father. So it's a photograph of a negative image that when Sedando Pia on the 28th of May in 1898, when he developed it, he had taken a photograph of a negative. So the negative that he was developing in the emulsion come out as a positive. And he said he nearly dropped the glass because for the first time he saw the face of the Lord. Because it's much clearer as a negative developed into a positive than what you see on the actual shroud. And what it turns out to be, it's not Jesus at all. It's the soul of Jesus, which is the Father.
That's you.
That's me.
Right, well,
we are all someone. We're all back here and the judgment is in.
Yeah.
That's it. I can't get out of the job. Look, I was horrified when I was told as a small boy by Mary, who took me up to heaven, told me things that would mystify me for 40 years until I realised that it was all to do with the Dead Sea Scrolls, and what she told me was proven in the Dead Sea Scrolls by John Struggle, who was the leader of the Dead Sea Scrolls, that I was him. Can't get out of it. So it's things like that.
Right. Well, I guess can you introduce yourself in a sentence to people at home?
Well,
some people probably have never heard of you. Tell us who you are.
Brian Leonard Golightly Marshall is the name, and I was born of the Golightly Marshall line, which is the direct descendant of King William the Lion of Scotland, and also through my grandmother, who was the wife of Francis Golightly, who should have been a king. She's of the Battenbergs, and up through the line of Germany, of the royal line there. So the royal line actually left and went to England in 847 AD. And the name change became her name, which is Harrison, Harrison.
True. Yeah, but I guess I mean it in the sentence as well. Let's introduce
one sentence?
There's like one sentence. Yeah, I am Brian Marshall. I am God.
Brian Leonard Golightly Marshall, the Comforter, as Bible predicted by Jesus Christ.
There we go. Comforter, and the Comforter is God.
It's God, Jesus and Christ. So you have Christ the man today, Jesus then, and God the Creator, the Father, all in one.
And that's you.
That's it.
That's you.
That's right.
There you go. All right. Well, I guess how many followers do you have?
Thousands.
You have
Count-
thousands of
count-
followers.
count. Oh, yeah. At one stage there, you put my name into the internet and it would come up 88 million times, a little bit more than Elvis Presley. But now the numbers are all out of whack. If you put it into any of the search engines now, it's down to how many?
Oh,
30,000?
well, it varies
It's all over the
daily.
place.
Varies daily.
Why do you think so many people follow you?
Because I tell the truth. I'm the first man on earth to actually stand up against the evil of the earth and live. Right? That's how it works. The world is totally controlled by an evil force that you could nail it down to one religion, or you could nail it down to one religion breaking into several religions. Freemasonry is number one, then you've got Zionism as another one, and you've got the Khazars out of Russia, which is, goes back to 800 AD, and all these things are intended entirely to stop Christ coming.
You've got a lot of people coming to visit you and coming here to live with you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Have they been brainwashed? Why are they coming?
I don't brainwash anybody. What I'm saying to you, I just say, you ask a question, I'll tell you the answer. They do the same thing, but they've had a lot of experience in their lifetime. A lot of them suffered. A lot of these people have suffered. And when you suffer, it tends to make you focus. And because of that, they look for salvation, so they go down every rabbit hole there is, and suddenly they come across old BLGM, as they call it, and what? He's telling the truth. So then when they start communicating, I say, well, look, do your research, do this. I'll give you all the numbers, how to read the world, because it's all based on, in the old days, to give you an example of why I'm saying this, if a king of Babylon, for example, built himself a wall or a castle or whatever he built, it would be built on the numbers of his name. Right? So the earth is built on the numbers of the Creator. And the Creator, all those numbers are my numbers. How do we know that? Well, when I was born, for example, the sunrise to moonrise was 888 minutes. So what?
You tell us that around the pool table, I remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of your critics, they say these numbers, they're just to bamboozle people, just to
Well, of course they
pluck them out of the air, just to say, I'm God.
absolutely. I just pluck them out the air, then you verify them if you've got the intelligence to trace it out. But you'll always get criticism when you're trying to do something that's not popular in the world, because the world is run by people that really don't want you. The Jesus phenomena is really, it's a money-making scheme. It's all to do with making cash. You've got the Protestant churches, 10% of your wages, right, cop up. Right? Well, I don't take money off anybody. I help people, I pay my way, and this is what it's all about. All I do is save lives, and I don't expect nothing back. I don't charge for anything. And just tell them how to be cured of a particular disease. And it's cost me one nephew who was shot dead because I was doing it down in Melbourne in 2002. So I got a call from a senator. Are you Christ? Yeah. Stop doing, otherwise those above us will kill you. So those above you. We're talking the Australian senator here. Right? There's only 6 of them. Who's above us? Well, pharmaceutical corporations, the CIA, the Queen, of course, they're all part of it. So these are the ones in power. They want to make money of killing people.
I guess and that comes down to the issue here, which is a lot of things for your followers, a lot of things for your critics as well, and you sort of partly answered it already, but how do you fund this lifestyle?
They tried to kill me in 1974, and they put a poison in my back, which normally cripples people even if they put the poison in and take it out, because it was done with a myelogram. It was later banned. Right? Based on that, because I was able to recover from it, the compensation board in Canada decided that they're going to give you a pension for life. Which they did. So it's a little bit of money pops in, and then of course the old age pension now, which makes it a bit easier because I'm 71 years old. So when you combine that with the 500 I get from over there, I've got enough money to pay the rent and put all the diamonds on her fingers and all that.
Yeah.
Is it funny? Do you find it a bit odd that God's claiming an age pension?
No, I wish I could claim more. I'd like to see it risen up. I'll take what I can get because I've got to eat, and she's got to eat, and I've got to fund these things. I've got to fly planes over to New Guinea Right? How am I going to do that? Go down the street begging money? No, I'll take it off the other's pension. Sure, no problem.
Fair enough. Right. I guess you know, I think I was reading things before. You make predictions. You can predict what's going to happen in the future.
Absolutely, yeah.
You can predict things in the future.
Yeah.
Can you predict stuff?
Well, the 28th of September is a big day. On that date, I will be 71.717629 years old. Now, that's a very strange number. When we opened our clinic, we had a phone thrust in our face by a little native at a service station. She sent it, bought it. That was the phone number of that particular clinic on that phone. When I come back to Australia, I've done all of the solar eclipses, which are measured from the 25-degree latitude north to south to where my house is, where I was born. An example of that, 14 days after I was born, there's a solar eclipse just below the Great Pyramid. To the house is 8,888.8 miles. Another one on the 21st.
What I'd be interested in, obviously, you know, since we're sitting down doing an interview today,
Yeah.
you'll probably go to air in another week or so.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can predict that's going to happen before this interview goes to air that we can include in the story to prove that you are God?
Yeah, you could. You could look at what's happening in New Guinea, because I'm going up there tomorrow, and tomorrow we start a clinic that's going to go all over the country.
But we're not going to be there in Papua New Guinea. Is there anything?
I'll send you a video.
All right. Is there any world event though? Anything that we?
Oh
can
no, I
say
don't look at
about
that.
viewers?
I don't look at that. I'm not interested. All I'm saying to you is that you're going to have a red moon coming up, blood moon. There's 4 in the last 2 years. There's been a solar eclipse, a very specific date, and this goes back in time to a red moon that occurred on the date of the crucifixion, and that was April the 3rd in 33 AD. There was a giant earthquake.
Yeah. That's right.
All line up.
What I'm trying to look for here is, you know, you've
Looking for a sign.
got a lot of critics who say you're not God, right? So you're saying you can predict things. Prove these critics wrong. What's going to happen before the story?
28th of September, I'm saying. That's what I'll give you. 28th of September. When I hit the number of Armageddon. 717 is Armageddon. Right?
So Armageddon's
Armageddon is all of evil is going to be run to cover.
Okay.
Right? And also predict there's going to be world will see very large planets coming in. Right? It's already occurring. If you want to ask the CIA, it's already occurring. They've known about it for 50 years, but today it's now becoming public view.
And the thing that a lot of our viewers will understand too when you're doing a prediction is that you're on the age pension, you're God, you can predict things.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of money out of sports betting.
Oh yeah.
The Broncos, are they going to win by 1 to 12 this
I don't
weekend?
even look into it, but I have
you
gone
got
into
the age
casinos and cleaned up.
You're going to casinos cleaned up. What's your biggest win in the casino?
Well, I went to a casino several years ago, and I was just making money hand over fist, and I thought, well, this is evil, so don't give it away. I don't need money. That's the whole point. It's not money that I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is waking people up to the fact that they are being poisoned by your vaccinations. For example, in the United States, a child by the age of 2 is at 60 vaccinations, and they are expected not to outlive their parents. Now, this is happening. Right? I want to wake people up from that. I say, well, you've got, in lots of cases, fluoride in your water. It's all been banned, for example, in Europe. But fluoride is one of the most deadly things you can have. Go into your food stores, you'll see that there's soy in every food. In your bread, there's bromide and there's soy. 2 of the worst things you could possibly have, which makes up the baker's flour. Right?
As God, can't you stop these people doing
Oh,
terrible things?
yeah,
Can't you stop
absolutely.
them?
That's why when I come into the power, this is going to happen. But it takes the people to go along with it. If I say, look, stop doing that, stop going to Afghanistan, bring your soldiers home because you're killing innocent people over there, for what? For poppies? For growing heroin? For the Bush family? Come on. Right? How many people at my age have gone to Vietnam and come back crying their eyes out? Right? Why? Because they see things over there that they were compelled to do. In Iraq, I got people from America who have been soldiers there that they ordered to shoot people riding a bicycle past the bloody... Right? They have to have 3 kills. This is America? God bless America? Come on. Right? That's what I'm dealing with. I'm not dealing with making predictions about some silliness because some person might want me to say, I believe if you do this, I don't care if you don't believe. I'm telling you what it is. Right? I'm here, I'm taking over, I'm telling you the world is going to change. Right? It is prophecy. Look,
28th September, Armageddon.
September, and now after that you've got October. Now you've got a lot of Christians going on about Jesus coming on a 500-foot horse, right? That means power. It's a parable. Everything's told in parables. So what happens in October? The darkest spot of space in the galaxy has been looked at by the NASA. They studied it for weeks. And when this darkest spot opens, it's in Pegasus. Pegasus in October. Pegasus is a white horse. And if you take the stars that are prominent, there's 6.3, magnitude 6.3, 6.3, 6.2, 6.2, 6.2. It forms two wings, a horse jumping through the window of Pegasus. So it's a prophecy. So all things are told in parables. Anyone who's a Christian would know that. And you know what the word parable is in Hebrew? Marshal. Hello? Marshal? Come on.
I guess you have some controversial views in many respects. People think, on your YouTube video, you say Hitler is a saint.
Absolutely.
All
you got to do is read Mein Kampf. I'll tell you what happened there if you want to go through it.
You say Hitler's a saint.
Absolutely.
He murdered 11 million people.
Oh, no, that's rubbish.
The Holocaust.
No. If you look up, anyone is David Irving, another man by the name of Cole, who was a Jew, went to these people, and in particular, I have two friends that went to Auschwitz and Dachau, right? British people. They went in there and they said they'd come across thousands of people that were so thin and emancipated that, and also so were the soldiers, the SS soldiers. So I said, well, didn't they get destroyed in the Holocaust? I said, no Holocaust. He said they had swimming pools, they had theatres, they had everything you need. And how come you've got people that have been there for 4 years? If you're going to walk up a train through a concentration camp and walk out as a puff of smoke up a chimney, how come they're still there for 4 years? They are so thin without the lack of food, and why did they come about? Churchill was a Jew, and it was Churchill who firebombed Dresden, right, by taking the planes, the Lancaster bombers, extending the wings, putting 4 engines on them, so they could fly the 600 miles from London to bomb Dresden in 1945. 130,000 people, Germany, got burnt alive in 20 minutes. Now, is that history? Or go back to Stalin. 60 million Christians were killed because of the starvation practices in Russia. Did we talk about that? That's a Holocaust. And yet there are 50,000 Jews, and I like Jews, I've not got nothing against them. The 50,000 Jews that come through the so-called Holocaust that celebrate the good times. They had their own post office, they had their own bloody money, they had all of the things, and the safest place to be was in a concentration camp, while Hitler's mob was getting bombed in Dresden. Come on.
So you say Hitler's a saint?
Absolutely. Read Mein Kampf. You can't get through 10 pages of Mein Kampf and bring tears to your eyes. That man was absolutely the most compassionate man you can think of.
Okay. A lot of people would say your views are very dangerous.
Oh, I hope so. I absolutely hope so, because they're what they fear.
Do you believe black people are inferior to white people?
Not at all, no.
Because Hitler did.
No, that's wrong too. Jesse Owens, for example, he met with Jesse Owens when Jesse Owens was one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Jesse Owens is no fan of Hitler.
Actually, if you read it, and I have done this, I can refer you to it, what Jesse Owens said about Hitler. He had no problem with it. Hitler was a nice man. You've got to go through who controls history. He said when you win a war, the ones who control the press and everything else are the ones that tell you what the history says. And it's all wrong. They're not going to turn around and say Hitler was a saint, but why was Hitler deemed as what he is? Because he was able to take all the people that was unemployed in Germany, and in 3 years he had 6 million people employed. And if you were a married man and you had a child, you would get a house. And you had to pay for the house, no interest, of course. Second child, it was reduced by a quarter. Third child, reduced by another quarter. Having 4 children, the whole debt for the house was reduced to nothing. That's what Hitler introduced. That's what I'm going to introduce. If you read Vatican III, which I've given to the Pope, and after all, think about this, people out there watching this, how many men in history has been identified by a Pope as being Christ? Only one. That's me. Right? So why would Pope Benedict say that? And why did he retire? He told me why he retired. Because he couldn't get rid of the homosexuals and the Freemasons and Jews in the Vatican. He said he'd had enough. He couldn't do anything about it. He hoped the next Pope would be able to clear it up. That's what the Pope told me. And that box you can take with you is an email from the Pope saying exactly that. There's a whole stack of emails, 50 emails. Sure.
And Hitler considered Jews to be the problem in Europe.
He did, he was quite right.
You say you've got no problem with Jews.
I don't have a problem with a Jew per se. I have a problem with the religion, I have a problem with Zionism, and I have a problem with the banking that is above the average Jew. The average Jew has got nothing to do with this. It's the ones above them, the Rothschilds and those people. There's your problem. Right? They control Macquarie Bank. They would call the Federal Reserve Bank of America. You think it's a corporation owned by America. It isn't. It's owned by 13 bankers that set it all up in 1930 on Jekyll Island. Go into the history of it. It's there, you can snuff it out, and they then print the money and then lend the money back to the American government.
Sure. All right. I guess another important point was I think you predicted Armageddon in 2012.
No, what I said was there's going to be a build-up to that to give you the indication what's going to occur. Okay. Not that it was going to occur then. In fact, Armageddon started when I was born.
Do you want to stop an Armageddon? Do you want to stop
Armageddon is, again, a parable. What is it all to do with? It's the end of evil. It's not to kill off people. And we go to the Isaiah prophecy, for example, and you've got the Lord coming back as Isaiah 63, 1 through 6. So the Lord's coming back, and there's a question and answer by an angel asking the Lord, he said, why are you reading your apparel? He said, well, I couldn't find anyone on earth worth saving. So I crushed them like a man treading grapes in a wine press, and all my white raiment of resurrection is now stained red. Right? So they go, okay, what's that mean? You're going to kill everybody? No. What it means is that all evil is going to die off. Right? All good people. If you become like a small child, Jesus prophecy, you will have no problem. In other words, what's a small child? They don't know anything.
Yeah.
So all you gentlemen here, you're experienced men, but in actual fact, you're talking to me about things which you really have no idea until I start telling you. In other words, becoming like a small child doesn't mean you have to go around in nappies. What it means is say, hey, this man can talk about things that I have no idea about, so I should listen. And at the end of the day, when the 2 weeks talking, you will then understand what I'm telling you is true. If you don't, well, you're not like a small child. Everyone can be taught.
And to be honest, when I watched your YouTube videos, you swear a lot more than I
do.
Jesus would.
The word fuck means fornication under consent of the king. And the idea is to get it notoriety. If you say, hello, I'm this and that, no one's going to listen to you. So they get stuffed. They're going to listen to you. You tell somebody to get stuffed, they're not going to like you. Until they get on it. Right, and they start talking to the office staff who you might think that someone will go in there, and it's a pretty aggressive sort of person that's been on TV, said this, told people to get fucked. Huh? All right, what do you think of that arsehole, right? But the other people in the office say, what's his name again? I'll look it up for myself. And it spreads. The word spreads. And that's all I'm doing.
So you're using swear?
I'm using offence. Wake you people up. It's like there's a train coming, it's 200 metres down there, it's coming at 20 kilometres per hour, and you're parking your car necking with your bird, right? What's going to happen unless you start up and move? You're concentrating on shagging this bird as opposed to the truck going to get you, or the train's going to get you. Is that a good parable? It certainly is. Right? Wake up, look up, and see that big light coming at you. You better get off the rail.
Question.
This is judgment.
A question. Am I going to hell?
No one's going to hell.
No one's going to hell. That's a relief.
You're already in it.
Right, so.
Look at your Lord's Prayer. What's it say? Thou kingdom come. Why? Where's it coming to? Thy will be done on earth. When? On earth. As it is in heaven. Change that a little bit now. As it was in heaven, it's now being done on earth. Hell is on the earth. So if you know a little bit about Revelation, you see that Michael the Archangel is kicking Lucifer out of hell, and Lucifer wakes up. Oh, I'm on the earth now. He's in hell. Right? So he's set to deliver the child that is going to be the man-child that's going to take over the world. Who is that? Me. My mother was set upon by before I was born. Right? Now, the Garvin Institute, you can ring them and ask them, Professor Michael, ask him what my blood is. And it is 3,4,13, and that is Michael the Archangel. It's chromosome 3, chromosome 4, and chromosome 13. Michael the Archangel. It's in my name. Now, is that a coincidence? How many coincidences have I got to come up with that pertain only to me, that only I can reveal, and yet people say, oh, you put it into a Craig supercomputer and they'll go and say, yeah, it's him, no problem. Put it into someone who is remotely intelligent, they're going to say, hey, look at this. But the arrogance of people, like the Pope that's in now, right, and all of his cardinals, They're going to say no. Because their God, Christ, is the son of Lucifer. The first thing they did when they went into the basilica and they sang a song to Lucifer, Francis. There's a copy of it, take it with you.
Will do. Hey, now, you may have predicted I was going to ask these questions, but I was going to give you a bit of a test. Can you recite the 10 Commandments?
No. They don't. Not coming from me. Not coming from me. Not coming from me. It's coming from Moses.
Yeah, but they're in the Bible.
I don't care. I never read them. I
Never
don't
read the
care.
10 Commandments?
Never read them. My commandment is what Jesus said.
Could you use your powers to look them up and tell me what's on this piece of
No.
paper?
No, that's been silly.
Who were the 12 disciples?
I'm not going through that either.
Why not?
Why? You're asking me silly questions. Ask me a
I'm
question.
asking you the 12 disciples. They were your disciples as Jesus, as God.
I can tell you, not only can I tell you the names, I can do it with the gematria, but I'm not going to because you're being silly. If you want to ask me a question that is something that's a miracle, I can do that.
I'd like to ask you, I mean,
I'm not
if
going
you
to,
could predict it.
I'm not going to talk to you if you're going to be silly.
Okay.
It's a silly question. When you ask me a sensible question, I'll answer it. No, it's a silly question.
Sensible question. Are you a con?
Yeah.
A lot of people
Oh,
say you are.
absolutely. I'm a con man. Right. You can see the Rolls Royce out there.
Why are you doing this then?
Oh, well, I'm conning the New Guinea people out of all England. Would you believe that?
But a lot of people say you're just doing this just to earn money from your water, you're doing this to take, you're taking advantage of innocent people, you're taking advantage of uneducated, naive people.
I don't
so
charge.
you make sure.
And all the people that we cured up in New Guinea, it cost me $84,000 when I first went up there. There's no charge whatsoever for anything I've done in New Guinea. No. But I've cured hundreds of people of AIDS, malaria. You give me one doctor, one government, one organisation that has cured one AIDS patient or one malaria patient. It's incurable. But I do hundreds, thousands. I've stopped the epidemic up there. Now that's a sensible question. Right?
So
now
you
you're
stopped
talking
the
sense.
epidemic. You stopped the epidemic.
Absolutely.
You stopped that.
I said, right, yeah, sure. You know how I did it? I showed them how to cure themselves. I've now got one capsule that'll cure all disease. That's how far I've developed it. One capsule. You go to anywhere in New Guinea, which I'll be doing tomorrow.
The doctors say you're a dangerous man.
Of course I do.
You're taking advantage.
Oh, of course I am. I'm charging a fortune for a capsule which costs
But what happens
less
is
than
these people who are infected with AIDS, you tell them they're cured, they go off and infect other people.
I don't tell them they're
You're
cured.
spreading it.
I don't tell them they're cured at all. AIDS is spread by mosquitoes, not spread by illicit sex as they're trying to make you believe. If you look it up, I'll give you the number, 464-7773, write that down while you're doing it. 464 7773 and Google it. You know what it is? It's the AIDS patent. Comes out of the German Warfare Department in the United States, 1984.
Why are they withholding it?
That's the AIDS patent. They invented to kill people, not to cure people.
Well, you know, they can cure people like you can. Why can't they?
They don't want to cure nobody.
Why don't they want to cure them?
Well, I'll give you an example of when you were born, you get a birth certificate, and your birth certificate is then taken to the United States, made into what is called a straw man account. That means dead without a will. You're declared by a judge to be intestate, meaning that you are dead. Right? So the baby's birth certificate goes into a court. The court judge will call out your name and answer. Why no answer? You're not dead. They then say intestate. Goes to the United States. Australia usually put £1 million in it, and that is raised as a bond, all in capitals. Your name is now a straw man, you're a corporation, you're traded as a monetary bond on the stock market. You are traded like cattle. Everybody who has got a birth certificate is traded on the stock market, and that is the basis of money.
Why don't any doctors support you?
A lot of doctors do. That's not true. Well, I've got my nephew, the doctor. He supports me. I've got another doctor up in New Guinea that supports me. Right? He's seen the cures. He was at the very... Actually, I paid for him to become a doctor. There you go. When we went up there, this lovely couple, his father was so distraught that he tried to commit suicide because she was trying to raise money and borrowed money off a merchant, a Chinese woman, and was threatening to kill him. and he tried to commit suicide. We saved his life and then paid off the debt so this young fellow could go on to his medical career in the university up there, and is today a doctor.
Where did you get the money for that?
I had $84,000, which was willed to me by my mother. After she died, it was divided up. There was more money. But we got about $110,000 each for my sister and brother. So that's what we spent up in New Guinea. And we also got ripped off $57,000.
How did you get it done?
Well, we went into a little venture to buy gold, and trusted individual come from Australia with us, and he took the money.
You didn't believe that coming?
I did, yes.
So what did you go through?
Well, we had raised a company called Golightly Gold, and I'd said to her all along, I said, you can't trust this bastard, right? So, in order to get that company, so we can now go back into New Guinea because we own a company there, it had to be registered, and it has to have a New Guinea partner. And he was a New Guinea partner, he was born in New Guinea. So we then said, okay, we'll give him a chance. We said, this guy's going to rip us off, no doubt about it. And sure enough, he did. So,
But that wasn't the important part. We went there for the people. Because everybody
went there
goes
for
to
the
New Guinea for the
see,
people.
the money that had ripped off, I was going to spend on putting other clinics around the country.
That was our
And
second.
that was our back end. Right?
There was another
okay,
goal
it's
that
down
was
the
worth
road, so what?
57,000.
It's all how it is. It doesn't mean I'm not going to trust any people from New Guinea, and there's a lot of people out there you can't trust, don't get me wrong. But my whole aim was to spread this all across the country. So tomorrow I'm talking to the chiefs of this particular area, and they're going to finance it. They're going to put it across the country, because what happened was a man that we trust implicitly, who believes that I am Christ, went and seen these people, and the old chief turns out to be a very old friend of the family, and regarded him as like a son, but a different tribe, because it was through marriage. He told him and showed him these papers I showed you here, and the old man said, okay, we'll do this for this man, right? That night he died. Very good.
Well, I mean,
Very good.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, it sounds like one, doesn't it?
well, you,
So his brother takes
you're
over.
honest. You speak honestly, as you say. My honest opinion, I don't believe anything you say.
Good.
I don't believe.
Okay, good.
I believe you're a false.
That's good.
I don't.
What do you, no problem.
You don't no problem with that?
No, not at all.
I mean, you're saying you're Jesus. You don't know who your disciples are.
I said, you know what I said to me before?
No, I was outside.
I said, he's asking silly questions, let's get to the point.
Oh yeah,
I said, who's all, as if I don't know who all the disciples are, right?
Mm.
Come on.
Come on, well, tell us.
I'm not going to tell you nothing. Because I said to you, I'm not going to answer stupid questions.
It's not a stupid question.
It is a stupid question, Tim.
No, it's not.
Look, you want to talk about things that pertain to measurements of the earth? Great. You want to talk about the Great Pyramid and the miracles and that? Great. You want to talk about my genetics? Great. Right? He's asking me the 10 Commandments. I said, the 10 Commandments don't come from me. There's 2 commandments, love God and love each other.
What about the 12? Your 12 disciples, you just went and had your last dinner with them as Jesus.
So what?
So you don't know who they are now?
No, I don't know. Don't know.
Well, there you go.
Except 2.
Does that make you feel better?
Not really.
Well, you just said you don't believe.
I don't believe.
Good. Makes you feel good. You want a major point here, Tim.
If you say so.
Well, I do say so.
I mean, I'm worried that you're going out to New Guinea and telling people who don't know any better that they're cured of AIDS, and they're going out and infecting other people. I believe you're spreading it. I believe you're spreading the epidemic.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness gracious.
I want as many of these people up there to die as possible. Because I'm a German. I'm Hitler, I support Hitler. Let's kill as many as we can. But what do you want to hear? Cut it out. Cut it out. Use your headline.
If you want me to, I'm asking you what you really believe. Is that
I
what
told
you
you.
believe?
I told you what I really believe, and you don't want to believe it. So you're not going to believe it no matter what I tell you. This is the problem with the world. I could come up with all the proof in the world, and you won't believe it. Your mind is closed. You're not like a small child, right? You're an arrogant young man. Fine, if you want to be that way, it doesn't matter to me. Right? This is your job. You're a reporter. This is what reporters do. Look, if you was to take back absolute proof and
Yeah,
take
well,
it to
yeah,
Channel
it's
9,
saying
Channel
you're
9 is going to close us down, no problem.
You've got a lot of families saying you're destroying their families, you're brainwashing people, bringing them over here.
Yeah, I do that. I do that. Anyone who wants to come and join me, they can. No problem. You want to bring your family with you? Matter of fact, there's one fellow that started all this. I said, well, you want to bring your wife with you, and if she doesn't, after meeting us, want to believe, you can both go back to America. We've had people come here, go back. Believe, one believed, one didn't. Right? One was here, two was here at the same time when I was talking to the Pope on the emails and Facebook.
People have told us you forged those signatures.
Yeah, right.
Why don't you try and ring George Ganswain or get an appointment with Pope Benedict?
No, it's closer to the home than that. Michael Godbart was the one who organised the signatures, and he's all over the net, where he was able to prove absolutely that Benedict's signature came from Rome at the same time that the signature came from here, because it's all electronic. No forging involved. There were witnesses as it all occurred. Now, your rejection is typical of the world. He is rejected. It matters not, because people like you who do reject are content with the way things are going.
Hey, look, if you guys want to put forward some proof that I can put forward to the viewers.
Do you have 1 week?
What about 1 week?
Do you have a week to stay with us
let's
and
do
learn?
it. I'll give you one example. You can do this yourself.
In a week.
No. See, you're asking for a sign. You can get... Okay. You're asking for a sign.
Tim's just doing his job.
Yeah,
He's trying his best.
All right. Well, this is to the world, Tim, because the world is like you. I don't know how many...
Don't get personal.
Well, I don't know how many
No,
I have fielded, because they all come in. He doesn't respond, right? Anything that's on the... He doesn't respond. He's not there watching Facebook or anything like that. He could not care less. Because the prophecies are that he's rejected. So is he looking for people to believe him? No. Now, when you talk about the multitudes that are coming here, where are they? How many are in this house?
Well, they all spread like Greyhound bus when you was coming. Where are they all?
Where's the cult?
Where's all the cult followers?
You said you had thousands of followers. I don't know.
Around the world,
Around
through
the
the
world.
internet.
Yeah.
Around the world,
We
through the
read you out
internet.
some letters that they sent to us.
Now, one man who's been... He found us 4 years ago. Really humble man, big guy.
Very nice
John Lynch.
fellow.
This is where it all started. Now, John Lynch's life has been one of, since he found us, absolute persecution. He's not a happy. First of all, he's the judge.
Do you think because these people are unhappy and they're looking for some sort of answer?
No, 4 years. 4 years. 4 years,
Well,
John.
John Lynch, he was a very nice fellow. He wasn't happily married at the time. And he said he'd been down every rabbit hole there was. And when he seen me, he started to listen, and he thought, well, it making a lot of sense. And he believed. Right? It took him 4 years.
4 years. And these people themselves are...
We're not trying to encourage people to come here.
As a matter of fact, we like living alone. Hello?
No, just let me talk. Now,
Sure. I mean, look, the question
I'll give you a little miracle if you like.
Give us a miracle. All right.
Okay, and you can prove this for yourself. You've got to use Magellan software. It's available. You measure from where I was born, 105 Rothschild Avenue, to the South Pole, and that number is 3875. That number. You look it up in the Blue Dictionary Bible, Strong's Concordance, and what is it? The comfort. What's the odds that I would be doing this and born, right, in a location that is exactly the word comforter from the South Pole? Or my house, which was down in Nell Street in Greensboro, it lays on a latitude.
These aren't miracles, though. These
Yes,
are
they
things
are.
that can just be organised.
Yes, they are. Who can organise that? I was
Well, you can look it up and say, all right, I'll let
No.
you
Yeah,
say
right.
This is a fact. That's where I live, right? It's a fact. So you can say, all right, my house in Greensboro, Nell Street, is 5813 kilometres from the South Pole. That's the height of the pyramid finished with the capstone in place. But it's also 31680 kilometres around the Earth. What's that? Lord Jesus Christ in Greek. Okay. Shall I go on? Okay, when my brother, when I was born, he was 8.88 years old. So we look out into space, which I can show you on the computer right there, and I'll give you a copy of it because I've printed it out.
I mean, I'm looking for a sign like, say, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 50.
You're being stupid again.
I'll show it on the, here we go, number between 1 and 50. You can see it on the TV there.
Or
So
how
it's
about,
a-
what's your second name? Or how many hairs are on your head?
Wow.
That's the kind of
These are
stupid...
sort of...
That is
You're
a
God,
kind
you
of
can look these things.
stupidity which I expect from you because you're an unbeliever. Right. You've got no respect for me or anyone else.
I've got plenty of respect for other people.
Certainly not me.
I don't really have much respect for what you're saying to me right now. So I don't believe you. I'd say to you, this is it.
All right, I tell you, that's your opinion. If I was an interviewer, I'd say, I'd ask questions in a respectful way, and then I'd put it out for the public to have.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking for a sign. I said,
No,
there's a
you're
sign.
asking silly questions.
Do you know what Jesus has said that for this evil generation, which is this generation now, because we all reincarnate, there'll be no sign given.
No sign.
No sign.
That is a prophecy.
Do you know why?
Do
you know why? It's all about the unfolding of prophecy, not predicting like lotto numbers or anything like that, but the unfolding of prophecies. And do you know why he doesn't give any signs or wonders?
Why is that?
Because the prophecy says that all the many false Christs will come with lying wonders. There are all the others out there, and there's one even in Australia. I'm Jesus with absolutely no evidence. You see, it takes a great deal of forget that. It takes a great deal of intelligence to understand, first of all, creation, how it is that it's being organised, and it takes a humility of spirit to understand that you all know nothing. You have been BS all of your lives, and you have grown up in an education system, and you are actually working for the beast right now that is preventing Christ.
But you don't know.
It's not to you or the likes of you.
I have no problem with you, Tim, doing that.
Now, let's see.
You just wanted millions to say I'm fraud.
Let's read
Let's
read what Pope Benedict had to say. Now, he at first rejected,
this is
right?
the Pope, right?
Have you read this through word for right to the very end?
I had looked at it before, actually.
You had a look at it before, but you didn't read it, did you?
I did.
Now, do you? All right. Now, your thought as you read this word for word, and you got into. Is the writer of this the same man you are talking to?
Probably.
That's the public.
So,
Dear friends
Don't
in
tell me
Christ.
to be quiet.
Dear friends in Christ, over the past few days of this month of March, I have learned about a man who is named, he even gets it wrong, Brian Golightly Marshall. Hello? He claims to be the Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of Man. He's got that wrong. Reincarnated in Sydney, Australia, on the most holy day of January 11th, 1944. It is the faith that we are experiencing before our eyes. He is the Word reincarnated. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Many doubt that Mr. Marshall is he, but I tell you he is. As his many disciples put it, he is the most royal man alive. He has fulfilled the prophecies within the last book of the Bible, Revelation. If you look at Mr. Brian Marshall's face and compare it to that of the most holy Shroud of Turin, you will see something spectacular. And from the bottom of my heart, I tell you, ever since I have realised the truth about Christ Jesus' return to earth, I was stunned. And the news has changed the remainder of my life and pilgrimage completely and beautifully. He is an amazing man as well. He has opened up clinics and along with his wife and disciples has helped the needy for a very long time. But sadly, he has also experienced a great amount of discrimination for telling the world who he is. It is so heartbreaking to hear about his numerous and unfortunate experiences, which should most definitely act as an example for all humankind. It is like Jesus Christ in the Gospel, when he carried his cross to Golgotha to be crucified and killed. And to all of those who are upset due to the discrimination Mr. Brian Marshall has gone through, know this: one day you shall be with him in paradise. Then he goes on. He says, what is the matter with the world?
what's the matter with
Abusing Christ like he is some sort of animal. It's an absolute disgrace, as well as a great dishonour, to have treated the reincarnated King of Kings and Lord of Lords like he is just some crazy man. He is not crazy. He is not mentally ill. He is not attempting to manipulate you or you or you or the viewing audience,
Sure.
anyone into thinking that he is who he claims he is. He
Right.
is
Well, I
who he
have two
says
more
he
questions
is.
then for God here.
And not being sarcastic at all.
No.
And asking for a sign for this evil generation.
Just
that
give me a sign.
crucified him.
There's the first time in living history that a Pope has actually said Christ is back.
There we go. All right.
Right? You don't believe it?
No. Not at all.
Okay.
What would you say to the, we've got more than 1 million people watching this episode. What would you say to them? Why should they believe you?
I'd say do your own research. Look up Vatican III, which I wrote for the Pope. And if you can find anything in that, there it is, the Vatican III, which I gave, and he's accepted this. Right?
Yeah.
If there's anything in there you don't agree with, well, let me know.
Sure.
Maybe we'll change it.
That's all
The other one is to look up Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI and my name, right? Apostolic Letter.
In Christian Creed.
In
The
Christian
name
Creed.
of it.
There it is. Now, you've got the opportunity to take all those emails there, and they have on it the print from the actual
Everything's on a server.
computer that came from the office of the Pope himself. There it is.
Nice.
There's weeks of
There's
communications
weeks
in
of
there.
communication.
We went to Rome.
Yeah.
We spent 5
believe
months in
You
Rome.
believe we went to Rome?
We
Bless
went-
your eyes. Oh, thank you for one small miracle.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
We went to 3 levels of police. We went to the German embassy. We dropped mails in the box for them.
Let me just say something. You might agree with this. When we was in Germany, we verified something which I thought was quite appealing to the persons that put it all together. And that is, when a little child starts going to school, they are given a booklet to take home to the parents. Right? Now, I want to see if you agree with this. This will tell you where you're coming from. The parents are encouraged to masturbate their children. That is law in Germany. Believe it? Believe it, Tim, or not?
I don't believe it's. If
You
it,
don't
if it
believe
is a law, it is a long redundant law that's somehow still in the Bible or something.
Hello, no.
No,
We're talking
okay.
Bible. We're talking laws that have been introduced in Germany since the Jews, the chosen people, lovely people they are, as you know, have taken over the running of Germany. And that a child brings home a pamphlet from the school, the kindergarten, for the parents to masturbate their children for their sexual development as they grow older. That is a fact. If you can look that up and tell me that's a fraud, because we were there, we were with Germans, we investigated, it's happening. Right? You agree with that? Do you think a child should be masturbated by his parents?
No.
I don't. And any million people out there, I don't think they will agree with you on this point.
Alright.
Right? You've got a million people out there, go research it and see if I'm telling a lie.
Sure.
Right? Now, would you bring your little child home and masturbate it? Right. The Germans are required to do that.
Alright.
They're also bringing in child pornography laws. In other words, it's a problem to molest a child.
Now,
Like
the
film
US
of it.
Supreme Court has okayed gay marriage.
We have gay marriages all around the world, been in particular through Obama, right? That has now been law in every state that they recognise gay marriages and so forth. I don't. Never will. Like, this is a Sodom and Gomorrah prophecy. Right? There are people in Australia who will tell you that when I was a child, I used to protect the youngsters from homosexual. There's a lot of people out there. I'll give you names of them. So that's another thing I've done. So yes, I am homophobic. Yeah. I don't think it's a natural thing at all. I don't know what you think. What do you think of it? Tim?
Doesn't worry me, to be honest.
Doesn't worry. Well,
No.
so you've fallen for the trap. It's not righteous. You're sinning against nature. And you don't believe it? Okay, fine. You've probably got gay friends. Great. That's all right. I haven't.
Fair enough. Hello.
So there's two little things you could get your people out there to look up. Just say,
Will do.
am I lying about that? If I'm lying about that, make it the next show afterward and say, yeah, he's a lying bastard.
Sure. Alright, I'll look it up when I go back to the office.
Good.
As a matter of fact, we can send you the links if you
Yeah, no, send us
send you the links
I'll
to all of
give you
these
an
things, because it was Andrea Anna who communicated with Pope Benedict first. I told you that in the run-up to the communications. It was Andrea who picked us up from Frankfurt Airport as we flew in, and that's one of the first things that she told us about the laws of Germany requiring parents to emancipate their children.
That's stuck in there, or is that's not the way that
I'm not sure whether it's in there, the emails.
There's, yes. I'll put a copy of everything in there.
But see, Tim, as a reporter, to be a good reporter, you don't have an opinion. And what you do is just record what I say, or what a person says.
Yeah, no,
You don't make accusations and so forth. You could say to me, what do I think of Hitler? I'll tell you.
Oh, here we go. Here's how many of the million viewers are you still running? How many? Get it going. How many of the million viewers out there in Australia and USA, England, Canada? Okay. A Jew should and must make a false oath when the Goyim, that's you, that's us, asks if our books contain anything against them. To communicate anything to a Goy about our religious relations would be equal to the killing of all Jews. For if the Goyim knew what we teach about them, they would kill us openly. On the house of the Goy, remember that's everybody out there watching in Aussie land, one looks as on the fold of cattle. When a Jew has a Gentile in his clutches, another Jew may go to the same Gentile, lend him money, and in turn
Well, just go ahead to one little one. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Oh, this is about, it's about the rabbis.
The rabbi is allowed to have sex with a child, providing it's 3 years and 1 month old.
Let's ask this question.
Extermination of the Christians is a necessary
I had an email
sacrifice.
from Claire.
Oh.
And you know Steve Marshall, who did the late one?
Yes.
Yes.
You know he now works for a current affair.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
lovely. Go
Yeah.
talk to him, yeah.
So Steve Marshall has told us that he believes you were definitely making money out of the scam.
Oh,
You fill up water bottles with tap water.
we filled up. No, I'll tell you exactly what happened. Right, move over.
Want to drink the one I just made?
No.
This is the way it
Steve
would.
Marshall would say that.
Steve
No,
Marshall.
hey, listen, he may have. Remember, he was just reporting.
He's a good reporter, though. I'll give him that.
Well, we don't know that at all, because I'll tell you exactly what happened. While we were there, we taught them how to rip the drums of silver water, 200 litres of them. And we would buy, because we had the bucks to do it from the inheritance, bottles of water that were sold locally through the supermarkets. Now, that may very well have been tap water, because you've got Coca-Cola up there, and that's what they do. But we bought it from the supermarket as pure water. This is my point. We emptied it into drums, the 200 litres drums. Then we ripped it with the silver till you get the... And then we had the guys relabel it with the same water, this time with the silver in it. Relabeled miracle water. Now, Steve Marshall, I'm glad you're watching, because this is what we were told after his interview. It was 12 minutes, and it seemed like he edited to the point where it could go out there. This is good. Now, all of my family watched that interview, and especially with the bit on the end, where you've got the National AIDS Council and the fat dude, Jamie Roxton Graham, saying we're separating people from our wallets. Well, all of my family watched that, and they knew that to be an absolute lie. We spent our own money there. Not only were we buying the water and converting it into silver water, and once the people of Papua New Guinea heard about what we were doing, because of Stephen Marshall's 12 minutes of fame, they came down from the highlands to go to Nix and Mary, which is where we set up the well, at Gabaka Street, for the water. We were there in June. Mary said to us, people are still asking me for the silver water. We walked back to Gabaka Road after 7 years. Jamie, the one who had the dream. In the dream, he was dying. Jamie was the one that saw and refused the AZT, which is a chemical cocktail that kills people. He cleaned his blood, and it was 7 years later that Jamie phones and says, will you please come back? We went back and we were greeted with open arms by everybody in the Gabaka Road compound that we treated, and Jamie and his entire village. And they told us
No,
more.
let's interject for a moment. Give Jim Jamie's phone number, and you can talk to the meeting himself.
Right, let's see. Put it in the box and we'll take all the evidence and...
Now, so, look, we bought the water from the supermarket. Coca-Cola refused to meet
Yeah, they
with
wouldn't sell it
us.
to us.
We wanted to go and buy bulk from them to get it to our people, and they refused to let us into the gate. Now, for the million of people who are watching, really good. When you are dead and dying, and your government doesn't care but creates an insurance program off you, when you are being lied to like there is no cure for AIDS, and we come along and demonstrate that it is a lie, and now the world knows that it is, they are the ones who are grateful. Whether the rest of the world cares because you are not being killed by a virus that was invented by the USA, it makes no difference. The ones that are alive today are the ones calling us back. And now, because they are, we are going to take it further up into the highlands. And it's really very simple. It's not rocket science. And anybody watching out there who is sick right now, you can do the same. Rip some silver. You don't need to buy a generator.
Just
Do
look
it
up
yourself.
Robert Beck.
It's
There's a man
all...
who invented it.
The veil has been removed from secrecy of these things. And not only that, you've got 8... well, there he is making his... You've got 8 doctors of natural medicine lately in the last 2 weeks that have been murdered or supposedly suicided in the USA. Why? Because the governments of this world want you all dead. That's it in a nutshell.
Well, I think the interview went very well. It's totally as I predicted, so there's a miracle.
I thought you would have predicted we were going to ask these questions. So we
Well,
can
I
take
knew
these.
you'd come up with a lot of silly stuff because
Look, have you read this,
not a
Tim?
good reporter, but you try to have it.
Oh, no, give me that.
Here you go, Tim.
Sure. Let's put it all in it.
Now, this is what we did to ourselves, all while we've got witnesses from the USA here at the
Can we take
time.
this blah, 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 blah?
Yes, you can take the whole lot.
Well,
Hello,
not
these
that
are...
one, they're just scrap.
Oh, that's
No,
No,
I'll
no,
give you a folder
this is
stuff,
the
we'll just
Talmud.
go for it.
They need to
Read
read
that.
the enemy. This is all the Talmud.
Oh, well, you
Oh,
bring
this is
it
the
out.
High Court of
No,
Israel.
I just been sorting through that. I'm not really...
Oh, okay.
Let's give Tim...
Here it is.
Sure, I'm just going to take this phone
It's all
call.
here.
Tim,
How are
now,
you? It is, how are you? Yep. Oh, yeah.
this one here is apostolic. It's the one that's printed off in straight English without any on the notepad, right?
Oh, how did you get that? Why?
Well, I copied it into a notepad.
Oh. Well, what about the real one?
Oh, well, you can have if you want. Just a waste of time, that's all. There you go. That's a good one.
Okay. Where's the other page?
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's 11.
Well then, Christian Creed.
Yes, there's 11 pages.
Yeah, that's with Vatican III.
No, there's 11 pages.
Well, that's all I got figured out. Keep that. You can still do something that's already due, isn't it?
This email no longer belongs to the Pope Emeritus and will be deleted permanently after this update message is sent. Giuseppe Tabello is no longer a Catholic priest and he has been relocated. We are not telling you where he is. Sister Maria Della Rosa is still a Catholic nun, but has been moved to a convent outside of Italy. We are not saying where she is exactly. Archbishop George has sworn not to speak a word of you and is forced not to listen to what you say. The new pontifical household will consist of Pope Francis, former investigators. They are not priests and will tend to his needs, along with only a few nuns. He will have no contact with any of you. Monsignor Giovanni Rossini is no longer a Catholic Monsignor priest and has been relocated for sending in Christian priests. We are not saying where he is.
You realise it's not going to get read anyway.
Oh, I know that, I know. It's all
Just give him a little bit, but that's all.
well, it's all in here anyway. It's all copies of... Oh, here we go. Here's the one from Andrew Pereira, from Pope Francis. That was the one left on YouTube.
Keep the good ones for them to give to the one.
Oh, well, actually, I'll keep the whole lot because this is on the record.
Yeah, good.
Throwing pearls before swine.
Have a good time, mate?
Oh, this is normal for us. It's no wonder it lasted that long.
No. Just to record, that's what they do.
And Rob, is this your family?
Yeah.
They're only here to help you hand over stuff when something happens in the police go
Well, I'll keep it. You know what got him crucified?
What now?
No, I'm asking these boys.
What about what?
Do you know what got him crucified? First time around the cross, you know what that was all about? Okay, because he stood up to the ones who were controlling the temple then. They called themselves the Jews when they were not Jews. They were the Pharisee, Babylonian priesthood. Those groups are back today controlling all governments of the world, including ours. This is why wars are still being fought, where Australians are being slaughtered unnecessarily. This is why disease, famine rages.
Yeah.
Because the world has been bullshit. And he was crucified because he called them out and called them what they were. They were a serpent, they were of their father, the devil. This is what controls the world. Nobody else was going to do it. Nobody else was going to do it. Well, they...
What's your view, like with, say, Muhammad?
Actually, Muhammad himself had it right in one sense. He said that the soul of Jesus was Allah. What's your God? Sorry. Oh, sorry, mate. I'm just following about it. Nice fellow. He got that right. However, the whole of Quran is not written by Muhammad.
Yeah, because he
It was
came
written
in
by Jews.
the 900
Yeah.
AD or something like that.
We were there in Egypt for 10
625.
weeks. See, it's the Great Pyramid of Egypt is the object of the Lord. It's all about the Christ.
All his descendants were killed, beheaded, hung.
Right. And the House of Saud are Jews. They infiltrated into the area of Arabia once more. That's all common knowledge now. People who are doing their research are finding it. Because with the advent of the internet, it's like lightning, and freedom of information makes it impossible for them to try and control. Well, they tried, but they haven't been able to so far.
Yeah,
Anyway.
so that's about Muhammad. We just come back from Egypt, and in fact, we took a lot of people over there.
2013.
And surprisingly, how brainwashed they are.
Hmm.
Every child, man child that is born, is called Muhammad. The second boy is called Ahmad.
We've got female
Then the
circumcision.
third child is another variation of the word Muhammad. So that's how obsessed and insane they are. So you can walk into any crowd and say, hey, Muhammad. Third of them will stand up.
Ahmed Mahmoud.
I've never seen anything quite like that.
Now, circumcision is a mark of Cain. Jesus was not circumcised. The Bible, everybody's reading, talks about the 8-day circumcision. He wasn't. He was an Essene. Essenes did not circumcise. And it causes all kinds of interference with the development of the brain from 21 days out. The world is being devoured. They crack on about how we live. We live in a comfortable home in Toogoom, where the rents are about 1/3 of what they are in a city. And we share with one other young man who pays $100 a week for his room, who's been 3 months in Tasmania.
But we are ripping him off.
What's that, babe?
We are ripping him off.
Oh, totally. He gets to live like this for $100 a week. It's way too much. But still, that's to be expected. It's where the world's mind is at. And out of the 1 million, you may get 10 who will see the battle.
Yeah, don't forget to give Tim the phone number of Kenny.
Right, I'll call Jamie now. What's that
What
for?
are you calling? She's not. What do you do? Tell him who is, what he was doing and where he's from. And there's a story about him. We'll give you Jamie's number.
Yeah, Mark, check me.
Tell him who you are and what you
Yeah,
do. And you don't believe us, right?
Yeah, that's all right.
And,
Well, now,
be frank with him and
Yeah,
he'll
no.
tell you that he
I'm
was
not
the one-
here to pretend I'm something I'm not.
No, cool.
now, Jamie, his English has improved from the first one.
And she's decided not to give you that.
No, leave it. It's like
Well, give it to your boss.
Sure.
somebody who's
She wants them.
seriously going to treat it with respect and not.
Alright. Yeah, well, it's up to you. You can hand me anything you want, or if you don't want anything, then you're going to have to give it to me.
Well, you're not going to read it, don't believe it.
Alright. Oh, I would read some of it. You can go and have a look through.
Well, you got
Well,
like that.
all right, you can take it if you return it to us within. How long will it take you to go? And I'm
Well,
going
you
to
can one of those photographs and stuff there. Just
Say that what you want.
maybe take
That's all the town, that's what rules the world today. So, please, you just hand it to us. This is really important to have back. This is the old man who informed us what was going on.
Yeah, we're expecting a busload of followers to show up in a ticket clock, so
Oh yeah, make sure you have your cameras here for
have
that.
your camera on for that. Oh, you got Pope Francis, there you go. You got this one here, this is, if you could see it, it's a miracle. But you don't have to see it, it's up to you.
Sure.
Some people are blind.
These are the screenshots taken from Benedict's Facebook page that was operated by.
Yeah, take that one.
We can take that.
Oh, here it is. Here's the, you wanted the conversation in German that began with, this is March the 8th, this is when it began with Andrea from Germany, the conversation.
Did you grab your lecture back? Yes.
Yeah, all right, you take this as long as you read through it all and you return it to us. All right?
Well, save us returning it, because if you've only got one copy.
No, we don't have one copy. It's all on, we've got it all saved as archived.
Okay.
But, has
I
a
would
history.
take it if there's some sort of.
It has a history, you know what I mean?
You
Yeah.
can follow the timeline of it, and you can follow the sequence. Of
So if you don't believe it, no use giving it to you, right?
Alright.
Alright, this is just 2 pages. Alright, take, this is in English first and then Italian.
Yeah.
If you don't already know it, that's the Cartons for Francis. Read that. That came in from Benedict when his computer came over. April the 3rd. Read that. It's up in Italian.
I can keep these ones. Those
Yeah, that's just a copy of, yeah.
Well, I can make a copy of it right now.
Yeah, it's all right.
Have you got copies? Yep.
Yeah, this is packets.
Yeah, I think what's this?
But I should say to you, Tim, I'm very happy you didn't believe it because you'd have broken the property. Rejection property.
Wouldn't want to have done that.
No, I'm sure you didn't.
Here, this is
I'm sure you wouldn't do that.
conversation that started March 10th. This is through Facebook messaging. Roman pontiff and the rest in the rock. This is conversation. And these are all.
Have a look through it. I'll come in and grab it in a second. Let's hope the guys carry some of this stuff out. And it?
So we get 10 minutes of negative.
And Stephen Marshall is right. What's his name? At Lucy's place, it was tap water because they didn't have. It was at Nick's and Mary's that we were doing the drum, but Lucy was just using tap water and converting it into silver.
That water was, there was no fluoride, no?
Well, we don't know that.
No, we do know.
Tim.
Yes.
Stephen Marshall, he interviewed Lucy, which is the wife of Jamie, the man that had the dream and
Mate.
called us back.
I'll give him a ring. I'll
Yeah.
get the email.
Yeah, just to clarify, because I want you to know this, that Stephen Marshall was right. Lucy was converting the tap water.
No.
That's all they had at the village. It was Nixon Mary at the back of street where they were able to, because we bought the car and left it there, to go to the supermarket and get bottled water. But at Gabutu village, where Lucy and Jamie still lives today, they were using tap water and converting it to silver. It doesn't matter because silver kills all germs, pathogens and viruses.
Don't worry, boys, off the show.
Sure.
Yeah,
So that was?
don't worry, we'll do it.
That's it.
Alright, well,
Here, take this.
sure.
Take that one.
Give him,
Tim speaking.
give him his number for Tanya.
Oh, Jamie, okay.
Hello. Yes. Hey, how you going? Yeah, she has. Yeah, she's going to school then.
Thanks, Mark. All the best and probably you. Thank you. All the best.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
No. Not in Queensland. Yeah, no, it's fine. There is, yeah. But look, no, you're fine to do what I told you. That's
Oh.
fine.
I'll give you a name.
Well, look, you do. Just you tell them you know. But you know, it's only just a legal backup for you. Yeah. No, well, I mean, if you can, you can. If not, we'll just make some hand notes about it. So, you know, yeah. All good. No, you wouldn't think so, but it's just to protect yourself. No, I didn't need to. Oh, I thought after they didn't come back, I thought there wasn't much point. And it's only aggravate things further, so yeah. I'm sure it was, yeah. Right, I better go because I'm just leaving an interview at a house here up at Harvey Bay, so that's alright. But yeah, any other problems, give us a buzz back, but hopefully it all works out.
My pleasure, mate.
Alright, thanks a lot. Cheers. Sorry about that. Thanks, nice to meet you.
Alright, do you understand?
Cheers.
Something else about Stephen Marshall, what he
Yep.
did not do. He interviewed Lucy with Janet, right? They
Yep.
were curing people in the village. They were using technical because they had no resources to.
Yep.
They were converting with silver.
Mm.
Mary, Quebec Street, was using the drum. They had the resources to do that. Now, Mary was supposed to be contacting the guy, and when she heard what was coming out about the interview, she was ready to chew a few ears off. Because not only, and it's her son who is the doctor,
Yeah.
right?
I'll
So
give
you
you
can
both
phone
a ring.
Mary, and you can confirm all that she has healed herself
Yeah.
until 2011 when she went to
It's all
Fiji.
15 minutes.
Yeah, I'll give Steve a ring, I'll give these guys a ring. And
Yeah.
I'll give you a ring when
Yeah, well, email, no problem.
on is anybody still live on the radio? Hello? Anybody still there? Oh, it's been going for 156 minutes.
Now, to go to town,
What's that for, babe?
Excel blades.
Oh, right. Hello, about an hour ago, a few seconds ago. Guys, did you hear that? Oh, what an arrogant. Anyway, it's going to be... And all the guy can... Did you hear that? He was going backwards and forwards, organising the furniture and property and all that kind of thing. Just... Alright, so you guys are still up. And hello. Yes, they do. I told them that I'd left the live audio on. They didn't want us to videotape it because that's their role, their TV. But this is what we're dealing with, so it might take a week or whatever. And I bet they're going to have fun with... Yeah, actually said he was... Who said he was excited? Did do. Hello, the current affairs folks from Rome. Hello to the current affair folks from Rome. Gabe said that 2 hours ago. Oh, from Rome. Okay. No. All right. Yes. Good show. Oh, man. Now, we've got to get... Yeah, out of here and on your way. The guys are still in the chat room. Thank you for being in the chat room. And you heard all that.
Good. That's what we're up against.
Yes.
So I want to look up who the disciples' names are. What a stupid question.
What a stupid... Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious me. What an idiot. Anyway, did we expect anything less than what it was?
That's exactly what I thought it would be.
Yes.
A little bit more arrogant than I thought he'd be.
Yeah.
A little bit sillier.
Oh, stupid questions. You know what? He was looking very much like when I got stuck into him, and God knows how that's going to come over the TV. This lunatic woman.
Yeah.
But he was looking like a schoolboy, casting his eyes down and blushing. As I... Anyway. Thank you both for all you do, says Aragana. Well, you're welcome, you guys. You know what? Even if it's just you guys that are listening. All good. So, we go on. It'll certainly start another fire when it finally goes to air, if it does, and how much of it they put out there. This is why we recorded it, and we'll get this audio set to something. We did get some video, so we could set this whole audio to... We got them on YouTube, on video, I mean. Okay, all right, 160 minutes. We'll say good night. I have no idea what time it is for most of you people. It's 10 to 5. So in Rome and Europe, you're up, you're awake. And John Lynch, you're awake, so it must be going towards the end of your day. All right, all the early hours of the morning. Okay. Oh dear. So the bottom line is, the interviewer, Tim, what was his last name? Tim something?
Didn't know.
He doesn't believe a word of it, and that we are conning people. Okay, with that, have you not heard of the stone that the builders rejected has become the head of the pyramid? Oh, so it's 2 a.m. where Eric is. Okay. All right.
Good one.
well, let's go out with the... No, we won't. I haven't got anything on the deck, guys, so we'll just say goodnight. Thank you for staying awake and listening to all of that. And, yeah, we'll be off air for a few days because I've got to get Yar back to PNG. Got to figure things out. And I'm on the road heading south. Okay. All right. Bye.